You're watching Africa Live on CCTV News. Now, this week we are doing special coverage of Sudan, from culture to the economy. And tonight we're highlighting ways the country is exploring sources of revenue beyond oil. Now, one way it is doing that is by setting the goal to increase sugar production and exports by 2014. In addition, it plans to produce 65 million cubic litres of biofuel a year through its ethanol plant. Prospectors estimate an annual production of 200 million cubic litres in 2 years. CCTV's Eric Njoka explains what Sudan expects to gain through the potentially lucrative sugar and ethanol industries.
Boosting sugar production is a top priority in the Republic of Sudan, as sugar is the most important food item for the 32 million Sudanese. The country is one of the biggest African sugar producers after South Africa and Egypt, and needs to import at least 400,000 tons annually. North Sudan is trying to cut on food imports that are stoking inflation and eating into the drinking budget, further hurting the country's economy after losing 3/4 of its oil production when South Sudan became independent in July last year.
Sugar industry plays the pivotal role in Sudan. That is why the government of Sudan, they have now put full attention on the sugar industry, and now we have what we call the Grand Sugar Plan, where we are targeting to produce near about 10 million tons of sugar per annum, and White Nile Sugar Project is the first project in this Grand Sugar Plan.
To achieve self-sufficiency, Sudan will launch in April a new sugar plant, the White Nile Sugar Company, with an initial annual white sugar output of 150,000 tons. The new plant will also produce power, much needed in Sudan, which is struggling to supply the vast and mostly arid country with electricity, animal feed and ethanol.
We think industry will boost the economy very much, especially in textiles, sugar, and in leather industries, meat processing and meat industries in general, and all agro industries.
About 250 kilometers south of Khartoum, state company Kenana, which already makes sugar and molasses, has put up an ethanol plant. It creates a renewable energy source for a country whose economy is largely dependent on crude oil by using byproducts from Sudan's sugar industry.
This is the first time for Sudan to produce ethanol. I think in the beginning they will export it. There's no demand in Sudan now, but in the coming years, ethanol production will have gone higher when the sugar production picks up.
Ethanol has become an increasingly attractive alternative for oil after the rise of crude prices, but production of the fuel was seen as a major contributor to global food prices. Production from the plant is forecast to reach 200 million litres. That's about 52 million US gallons every 2 years. Optimism on this project plays a pivotal role.
Things are looking up in Sudan, literally, as far as the industrial sector is concerned. And now investors want to make a better Sudan and hope that in the next few years, the country will become the biggest ethanol producer in North Africa. Actually, it's the first in Africa and Middle East, with the Kenana Sugar Factory in Sudan taking the first step 2 years ago. Eric Njoka, CCTV, White Nile State, Sudan.